Back to the coverage of Euros weekend, the greatest show on Twitch and on YouTube and on Facebook. We got 3 days of full-packed Yu-Gi-Oh! Action. Normally on Friday we're doing pre-recorded segments where we're showing you some interviews and we can show in between the rounds tomorrow and on Sunday. Today, very, very different story. We got the top 8 playoff. The 8 most consistent players of the last year. Not the last month, not the last week, the last year. The 8 players that were most successful over the course of an entire year are now duking it out. And the top 3 finishers in this knockout tournament are going straight to Worlds. They don't have to go up against thousands of other players in the European Championship tomorrow. They can win a ticket straight to Berlin today. So, we already saw 3 amazing matches, one of the highest level Yu-Gi-Oh! Play we've ever seen. All of these were 2-1 victories, so it was just so close between those 2 guys. And we're expecting the same thing to happen now because we have, obviously, 2 more high-profile players. We're going to bring them in now. In the red corner, we got Jake Quinsee from the UK.
Hey,
hey Jake.
How's it going?
You are the guy, or one of the guys, that must have most loved the change to this format because you're not known for winning the YCS, but you're known for topping every single one of them. So, how happy are you with the format?
Well, I like the slide dig. However, I do like the change in a way because it's more realistic now to achieve the World Championships. It's fairer for the other countries and other than the other 4 to go. So yeah, I do like the change. It means like more Brits can go. As you can see here, there's like 4 Germans in the top 8, so more Germans can go. So yeah, I like it.
You've been running a marathon for 1 year long. Now you're in the sprint section, basically. This is the finish line. What's different about this tournament? I mean, it could all end after just 1 round.
Yeah, this is completely different now. So instead of being consistent across the whole season, you have 1 single elimination tournament. And now it's actually, you need to win the first round in this because then you have 2 chances to go to the World Championships. But because now it's just, single elimination, the pressure's on really. It's a quite important tournament because, the World Championships is so hard to qualify for. And in this, it's more realistic to go there.
How happy are you with your luck of the draw of going up against Jonas Koschel?
I don't mind it. I have to play against someone anyway, and I have to play someone in the next round anyway. So I figured if I want to do well at the World Championships, then I'm going to have to play against the best. So I'll play whoever I need to.
It's a really good practice round. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Best of luck to you. His opponent, we already said it, Jonas Koschel from Germany. Hey. Oh. Okay. You are the other guy that must be most happy with this format. 2 years ago, someone said, I think it was Tom Rose, who said the top 4 players next year, one of them is going to be Jonas Koschel. And at the time when he said that, it was like everybody knew you already. You were doing consistently well at regionals and then also at the larger events, but you didn't end up in the top 8. So now you have had a consistent year. What's been your highlight of the year?
Obviously Düsseldorf, but I would travel back and do something different, but it was insane nonetheless, so yeah.
So you also ran the marathon, you also made it to the top 8 tournament. How did you prepare for this tournament?
To be honest, I didn't prepare that much because I was hella sick the whole week and tried to just get some rest and sleep a lot and try to participate even though I'm still a little bit sick.
And what are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? You're a little bit sick, but are you feeling okay about this match or not so much?
It's okay. I think I can survive this match, but yeah.
Shots fired. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So please also have a seat. Actually, we could perform the die roll to see who goes first. Some extra information for our commentator team. So there is the high roll. That's a 3 and a 6. That's 9 for Jake. And Jonas has a 6, so you can decide who goes first.
I'll begin.
All right. Jake Quinsee wants to go first. The stage has been set. I'm now taking you to our commentator team, which we swapped things around a little bit. Today is very stressful with back-to-back matches. So let's take it away, guys. We got Marcello Barberi and Leo König.
And we're back. So as Oliver say, welcome to the team, I guess.
Hi,
so
thanks.
it's nice to have it's nice to have a guest commentator here. You have quite some experience, and we're gonna have a really good match here. So as Oliver said, we have 2 of the best players in Europe and most consistent, I guess, for a few years now. Jake and Jonas both have top multiple events. I think Jake won a nationals back in the day a lot of years ago, while Jonas got very close twice in the finals in this last season. The key point is probably what Jake said. This is an event where you don't need to consistently do well a lot of rounds. It's all in or nothing, and that's why we saw a lot of players picking up Thunder Dragon. No surprise, they're both playing Thunder Dragon. So this is going to be a mirror match here.
A bit dice rolly, the mirror match, right?
I would definitely agree with that, and we saw Jake winning it. So it is going to be a huge deal because it's a very powerful combo deck. This deck can go second very efficiently against like Salamangreat or Sky Striker. But in the mirror match, no one is playing Antrops. So game one is going to be...
Game one is probably going to be Jake, but we don't know yet. He might draw badly. Jonas might find crazy ways to play through the board.
Absolutely, because the board is definitely different than the past.
Game 2 or 3, they are going to be like crazy maybe, because they're both siding in hand traps. I think like 8 or 9 both.
Yeah, we're both gonna see a back and forth one. Something cool to mention that you picked up on is that Jake is playing the one copy of Spell Canceller in his main deck.
Very sucky.
Very sucky card, but as you said, it is everything is on the line. If you play against a mine deck like maybe Durson was, you want to have the chance of like having the one Spell Canceller where your opponent is gonna think you're Thunder, you have no out with Sekka. They're just gonna pass, maybe deck you out. Then you slam on the field the one Spell Canceller in the main deck, and you really win the match like that. Anyway, I think our players are ready, so let's just go to the table and see how this goes. Okay, so in terms of deck list, it seems like they are quite similar. I am not surprised of Jonas' deck list. Unfortunately, he said he's not feeling that well lately. He was sick the entire week, and he basically picked up Jesse Cotton deck list card by card, even in the side deck, which is something that you usually don't expect from such a high-caliber player. Jake, on the other hand, is pretty much similar, but a few more Crusaders as well. So
yes, indeed. What I find interesting is the difference in the side deck. I think that Jonas is playing 8 hand traps. He's playing 3 Gnome, 3 Gamma, and...
Lancia?
No, 2 Gnome, 3 Lancia, and 3 Gamma. And Jake is only playing 3 Gnomes, obviously, and he's playing 2 Effect Veilers with 2 Electric Virus. And this is a rather low count to stop a combo like this.
Absolutely, it is. Although at the same time, it kind of makes sense, because if the Thunder Dragon deck switches to a lot more Crusaders, then their opening field is usually a little weaker, even though more consistent throughout the Antrop. So Electric Virus can be very good. Anyway, we're still in game 1, and Jake Hand doesn't seem to be that amazing, but I see a Sekka slide, so that can go very different real quick.
That fixes quite some problems for the deck, actually, And I think, like, even if the hands are decent, if your opponent has no hand trap at all, then you're still going to end up in a combo. I think, like, we can see a Maximus, we can see a Collapse Serpent, which is broken with Maximus because Maximus is a light monster, so he can just go into Magius, and then he just needs one more summon. So Brotor is shuffled away now by the second slide. I don't really always agree with shuffling back Brotor.
I was about to say,
summoning it off Saryuja effect just gives you a small combo already, but you need to get to Saryuja first.
Yeah, especially because, as you said, he already had the combo ready, so he didn't really need to risk maybe drawing the Draco, which you're gonna search with Magius anyway.
So he drew Dark off of it, so that's a little bit of a punish, because maybe not that much of a punish, because he can access Colossus safely now, but yeah, this is gonna be a combo.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be combo, and it is not impossible to break it with a Thunder Mirror match, but it is definitely quite hard, and it is going to all depend if Jake decides to get a little greedy trying to go for Saruya, or he just is happy enough with like an Erratic and an Abyss. We'll see.
I mean, he kind of has to go for Saryuja if he already has like the Dragon Dark in hand.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's probably going to make a second Saryuja after his first one, where he special summoned it, as he has no hand effect yet, and then he might search out.
Also, there is a chance he doesn't know what his opponent is playing.
So that's true, actually.
we're just now forgetting that we have full knowledge, but you are not sure that Jonas is playing Thunder. So
yeah, and
maybe
he could play Salamangreat. I mean, we have seen Jonas do a
or
lot
Striker.
of stuff.
So maybe Jake could also be fishing for the spell canceller and try to open that. So we'll see. He has a lot of options, surely.
So
yeah.
Always nice to cast these combo games because
yeah, there are a lot of different lines where people can go from here. We've seen very different approaches. Usually the best one is to go for both guard dragons pointing to each other. So, but first we're gonna see a danger.
Yeah. That's like very secure situation because you can't get ogred on your aggro pane.
Yeah.
But it's really fragile to Phantasma because it can draw 4 cards and then access multiple hand trips possibly.
Which is fair because we still don't.
Yeah.
He shouldn't know what he's playing against, though. So if you're playing against a Salamangreat and you allow him to draw 4 cards, then there is a very good chance he picks up a few hand drops.
He is gonna find something eventually, yes. Yeah. And like even just stopping the aggro pane from happening, even if it's just an effect veiler.
Yeah.
Like one less negate is pretty crucial, actually.
As a reminder, again, both players had access to the prize card because we allowed the players to actually use their copy of the prize card, because if you make it into the top 8 playoff, outside of being able to compete for the World Championship, you get a copy of the prize card and you get a VIP package for tomorrow, which will consist of 2 buys, which is a big deal. So all of these players, there is 5 combo decks in the top 8, and they all had access to the prize card, which is also making their deck significantly better.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also like it's they deserve it. They deserve to play this super amazing prize card if they already got to the top 8, which is a huge achievement. I can't imagine to go through that much trouble.
Oh yeah, it is quite.
It must be really. I talked to Jake about this and also to Jonas. I interviewed Jake, and he said that it's like crazy to work your entire year up to that, and then you know that if you lose this round, everything was like just for a prize card.
No, of course. I mean, it's not just because you're getting a very good treatment, as we're saying, for the European Championship.
I'm sorry.
Which is a big deal, but still, of course, there is a lot on the line. And unfortunately, we saw both French players losing right away. So right now in the event, we have we could have 4 different countries actually, which is pretty impressive considering there were half Germans in the event. Because right now in top 4 we have locked in Netherlands from Rafael Neven, and then 2 players from Germany, being Joshua Smith and Dinka Bui.
Yes.
We'll see if there is a 3rd German there or a lonely UK player.
So this is a mistake, right? You can't summon aggro pane there.
Yeah, this is a very, very... Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of a slip up here, and...
This is going to be one less Hot Red Archfiend Abyss. So this is
you can see both kind of smiling at this. It could cost him quite a bit. He doesn't need to tilt though, that would be devastating. He really needs to pick up on this. And let's see if he can find a way to still continue from here.
I mean, he has basically not everything, but most of it away for Sergio for draw. If he wants to have the draw, he still has Thunder Dragon in hand, so he could just go for a field of...
Yeah, this is quite tough.
Yeah, this is... He can end on Harbinger and Colossus, which wouldn't be like the best field to end on. He goes for the draw, which I agree totally, because you now have to fish for something really good.
Yeah, at this point you panicked really, and he's probably going to try and fish for the Diabolos, which is something that we've seen a lot of players actually cutting from their deck, but he's still playing. They're both still playing it, so kind of surprised by that as well. He needs to recover from this, because It is quite a big deal, especially because, as you say, it is one less negate, and it is also a very easy way to make the erratic link, which now he needs to invest more into.
Yeah, indeed. Absolutely. And the hot red is so crucial in the mirror match, because most of the time I find myself, when I play the mirror and my opponent comboed off, I kind of get to the point where I can make a Saryuja, and then he has this one last negate leaving there, and then I have to kind of scoop.
It is indeed a very, very big deal.
So, yeah, if your chance to play through anything is negated, this is really crazy, and he has to like link away this Saryuja with. Does he have Defrag Dragon in hand? Yeah, so he might go for Harbinger and then for a seal if he can get another level 8 monster on the field, because with the Defrag Dragon, which is it a Defrag? I think so. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he is playing it.
Then he can actually protect a.
Yeah, and since he has the Thunder Dragon, he is actually able to use even Defrag second effect, which is something that not many people know. Basically, you can banish 3 monsters with the same name, and you can from your graveyard, and it gets summoned back. So it is even one easy way to make the erratic link afterwards.
And he also has the Wyver Burster that he didn't use yet. I think so.
Yeah. He only used Collapse Serpent for now.
So I think we can agree on the fact that he doesn't need to struggle to go into Heretic Seal. I think
no, he doesn't. He doesn't. But surely he wanted more from this, and he might actually be punished heavily by this, because.
Yeah. Also, Jonas opens Sekka's Light, I think, and this also can't be negated by Hot Red. This would be negated by 38 though. But can he access 38? Or do you want to leave the Colossus here? Like, he already summoned the Bigfoot, he can't access it with the Jackalope.
Big deal here. He doesn't even play Synchros, I believe, outside of the obvious Hot Red.
So I think he just goes for another Saryuja, maybe? To find another Thunder Dragon card that he can special summon.
Can you ever Synchro summon into Hot Red, actually? I don't think so, right?
I think you need a red Archfiend Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise Arborea would have been a tuner. There was a world in which that was possible.
Some people played Burlord Savage Dragon with Arborea, or the FA Dawn Dragster.
Exactly, but
or
Jake
Zeta.
Is not. Yeah. We saw it with Joshua.
That was insane.
Yeah. Another Saruya is trying to get, again, probably the Diablos would be the best. Let's see.
Oh, Hawk is drawn, so this could be... Does he play 2 Colossus? Probably, yeah. So he could go into Colossus with a Thunder monster and then rank 8 with Levianeer, and then go for a Link 2 into Seal. So Seal points to nothing, and he can protect the Seal from a possible attack. Also, the Sekka's Light in the hand of Jonas would be dead because of the 38, so 38 doesn't only negate, just sucks up the card. So yeah, this is still not looking good for Jonas. But due to this small inconvenience, he actually is still in this game, I think.
Yeah, there are a decent amount of ends where you can still win.
Yeah.
Oh, is he actually fishing for a draw here? Wow, that's a bold move. So he really wants to get to the Diablos or anything else going on.
Yeah, he needs to make up for that mistake. I think he keeps Defrag, right? Because,
Yep. So let's see if he gets punished or rewarded here. Let's remember the Spell Canceller is still in his deck, which is something.
I mean, that one could be discarded, but double Sekka's Light would be bad.
Let's see.
Oh, I nearly jinxed it, but...
Yeah. It is a Sekka's Light and a Wyver Buster, so not exactly what he wants.
Okay, so so he has White Dragon, Wyver Burster, Reclusia, and Thunder Dragon, and a Sekka's Light. So with this hand, it looks like Jonas still wouldn't be able to break this board necessarily. Yeah, keep the pushed Colossus. That makes sense.
But at least... yeah, because now, as you're saying, we're gonna definitely see the Defrag coming down. So Yeah, Erratic Links is really good here because it shuts down the possibility from Reclusia to be special summon in front of Saruya.
Yeah, that's important.
And now, let's see. So, 38, even though it is not that good, Jonas drew the Sekka, so
yeah,
it's actually going to be a big deal for both effects. Usually the second effect is the most relevant in the mirror match, which is the protect from attack.
But this time...
this time both, yeah.
And it shuts down both effects of Sekka's Light, so quadruple effects.
Indeed.
Right here. Defect is summoned back. Okay, so he lets his opponent cut the deck again because he shuffled it due to the Levianeer effect.
Yes, so now let's see, this draw is important. He gets a second Reclusia, which is not what he wanted to get. And still looking very grim for Jonas. With double Reclusia and the Wyver, there is not too much he can do. He's gonna think about this. Honestly, time is usually never an issue in this sort of matchup.
Okay, he reveals his deck because that could have been like an issue. Maybe.
I was about to say he could have definitely thought about scooping up here because you preserve some information. It is possible that your opponent don't know what you're playing, since this is, even though we're deep into the event.
Double Reclusia, you can pop the Harbinger.
That's pretty good.
That is important.
That is pretty good. So the second Reclusia picked up is actually a very good draw. And now Jake is in trouble because the Sekka is going to be live, and let's see if he wants to use the Bro Tower afterwards.
And he needs some...
Oh, he didn't search, did he? With Magius. Ah, because of Colossus, yeah.
No, I think Bro Tower needs to discard any card, right? Or is it just
Yeah,
monster?
but it's probably,
I think he wants to keep the Sekka's Light then.
I guess. You can wait from where this is going, but now he has a very good opening. So
yeah, I mean, you can't use the Thunder Dragon because of the Colossus, so that one's a little... I think he actually wants to get the Bigfoot hit, so he can go into Wyver Burst. Maybe not.
Okay.
So summon the Bigfoot. He can now actually easily bait out the bounce.
Indeed.
That's Nessie draw. That's
picks up, but Nessie pretty good. So let's see.
Nessie's dangerous at this point. Who would have rather gotten Jackalope or a Tsushinoko? Because this Colossus is putting in work for Jake.
Yeah.
My God.
Surprisingly, this Colossus is still trying to keep Jake from losing.
And I mean, at this point, if Jake doesn't use the Bro Tower effect at all, there's actually also kind of a chance that he can't OTK next turn.
Indeed.
He can't, I mean, the Sekka's Light is pretty good. But
let's remember that we could have seen Red Abyss here on the field and for free completely. Seems like Magius is trying to force out the Erratic Spheres. Jake has a few options he can summon. I don't think he is maining any Phantasmi. Neither of them are actually playing Phantasmi in the main or side deck. So the other outs, he's playing Diablos, I guess, as another target, or the Eclipse Wyvern. So.
And then he finally gets to his Diablos that he wanted oh so badly.
Yeah.
And Magius is bounced. I would want to check if Magius... Can I use this?
Yeah. Two.
Can we get up Magius? Because I want to see if the effect is mandatory. I think not. Because if it's not mandatory, then he can just go into Magius again if he finds a...
It shouldn't be, but we'll check right away.
Because he couldn't even attempt, as there's Colossus on the field.
Yeah, of course. But I'm pretty sure it's not mandatory, so we can check. Yeah, it is not mandatory, so he can definitely go into it again if the chance comes up.
So the duo is shuffled back into the deck because of the Sekka's Light.
Yeah.
Battle phase is over.
Diablos was destroyed by Bigfoot, and now the Nessie is gonna be very crucial here.
Has to hit a Wyver Burst. That's so important. If he hits Nessie, game is pretty much
okay. Does so still a chance here for Jonas. Let's see what he gets.
Eclipse
Wyvern.
He can actually go into Beat Cop or a Lan for Finkus. I think he
whatever
runs,
he plays.
Yeah, one of the two. I hope he plays Beat Cup because that's
No, he's
easier
playing
to
LAN.
pronounce. Okay. So he can go to LAN, then summon the Eclipse.
But I think he already normal the Reclusia. So...
No, I mean, like he can go with those two into LAN and then go and summon the Wyver Burster and then go into Unicorn if he plays one and get rid of the Colossus. But that still doesn't help him too much.
No,
actually.
It seems like this is still very tough. You can see Jonas actually being quite frustrated because this Colossus is putting a lot of work. Usually it doesn't in the mirror match, to be fair. It is a pretty good card, but not as good as here.
I mean, the main job is to shut down the baby dragons, actually, and maybe Sniper Nessie. And this
is working out. And yeah, he's playing the Unicorn, so let's see what he will try to do here.
And he kind of has no real other option than to shuffle back the Colossus, and then
this seems very bad at this point because
he can just hope for a top deck in the next turn.
Yeah, I guess if he could search, then it would be really good to have the Wyvern, because he could discard the Wyvern and get the Collapse, and then... Is he picking up his card? Yeah. So Jonas sees the line. It's 1-0 for Jake. We're going to see a game 2 very soon. We already quickly discussed about the side decks, but they have different approaches to them. The only card they have in common in the mirror match is No Material.
Yeah.
Which we have not yet seen on stream, but is very powerful to lock down the
Magius.
Also the Guard Dragon interactions, unless you do it yourself like Jake did in game 1, I guess. But it did came out of that. So for Jake, the main difference is he's not playing Lancia. He wasn't scared of Orcus, and he actually did a pretty good prediction because no player in top 8 brought Orcus, which I think is really smart. Orcus is a very good deck, but kind of weak against Lancia, which is the most side deck card of the format.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Thunder isn't hurt too much anymore by Lancia.
Absolutely.
Since the Crusaders made their way into the main deck of so many players. Before that, Lancia was actually so insane. Like, people couldn't actually do anything after Lancia was dropped.
Yeah, it was similar to a Dimensional Barrier back in the day. Well, now we see how it switched to playing multiple Crusaders, with Joshua being probably the opposite line, where he plays only Crusaders and no even Thunder Dragons at all. And it does make sense. It lets you play better against Dweller and Lancia.
Yeah, and the dragons sometimes are pretty clunky. You have to say.
Indeed. You sometimes have to rely on a danger being lucky to hit the Thunder, which is not something you really want to do. So we're just gonna see a pretty similar game to game 1. I think Electric Virus from Jake is gonna be a very good card. Most of the ends now without like as many options to go into Saruya, because especially post side deck, you are playing around Antrop, so you're playing around Gamma, which is also very popular. So you usually play it more conservatively, and if you do, Electric Virus can really change the game.
Yeah.
So I do like that Jake decided to play a few amount of Antrops and then a few amount of cards that he can draw later into, such as Pancratops and Virus.
So I find Gamma a bit odd sometimes. Like, same with Effect Veiler. Sometimes one of the negates on Magius actually shuts down the entire deck, but not most of the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. Gamma does a better job by destroying the card and making one less monster for Saryuja. But actually, I think hitting the Guard Dragons might be the best play.
It usually is, and it is quite close, honestly. I feel, from what we've seen in these matchups, where there was always at least one Guard Dragon Crusader playing, Droll and Lock is by far the best Antrops you can have.
Yeah.
So if you are watching this stream and you are preparing your deck for tomorrow, I suggest you to put Droll and Locks in your decks, because...
You know what's the best hand trap combo in the game versus this deck? You go Gamma and then drop Lancia, and then you don't have to banish your monsters, and then you can like easily go into Saryuja.
It is pretty good, indeed. And that's something that we could see from Jonas, probably not in this game, but in game 3, because he's playing both Gamma and Lancia.
I mean, maybe you add Lancia to your deck still, even if you're going first, just to not immediately die to 1 or 2 hand traps that are
You
too
usually
crucial,
do, but what we see usually is that players tend to do that if they're maining Phantasme.
Yeah.
If they are not, then it is not as good. So, and as a reminder, neither of them is playing Phantasme.
Yeah.
So.
Phantasme was so crazy for Ding Kabui.
Oh yeah.
Actually won him the game entirely.
Indeed. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't play it. Like, I can see it not being that relevant in the mirror match, but Striker is so popular at the moment, and it is amazing against them. And if you play cards like Pancratops or Virus, it's also very good to draw into them. So
I also think that like Phantasma increases your risk of bricking.
Yeah.
And that I hate about the card in the deck.
I agree,
but it's insane if you pull it off, and your Brotor effect is crazy as well. Like in the turn after that, you usually just set up another Levianeer for your hand if you use the Brotor, or if you summon it via your seal. But you can, if you summon it via your seal, you can search the Phantasma, and then you basically win the game most of the time, because adding more resources to your field and your hand is so crucial.
It's also another target for Eclipse Wyvern, which can come up. Brotor, it's just very easily searchable. So.
And Lancea was drawn by Jonas, I think.
Yeah, he does have Lancea going first, so I do see 2 copies though, which is not something that you want to see, especially after shuffling with Sekka.
Probably okay, so 1 Lancea is discarded. Jake probably likes this, but what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's actually a good light target in his graveyard as well.
It is, and he picks up the Thunder Dragon, but this hand is not looking fantastic, but the danger was the most important thing. Because he drew the worst Crusadia, which is the Draco. It is the one you want to search with Magus. It's not as good if you draw it, and
I think he has to kind of tribute it for a... Oh no, he can just link it away soon. That's also possible.
It is fine right now. Like, since he has the Baby Dragon, it is still the combo.
Yeah, sure.
And
Does Jake have hand traps?
Jake, he
virus.
does have the Electric Virus. He doesn't have real hand traps, let's say, but actually Electric Virus is one of the oldest hand traps that you can call, because it's still discarded from your hand, technically, so... Even though during your turn and not your opponent's.
It's more of a hand spell, actually. It's like Mind Control as a monster. What I really like about Virus is that you can draw it as the 6th card, which, for example, No Material does a terrible job at. If you draw this card as your 6th card or draw it with Phantasma, then you're really mad. Experienced that a lot. So this is the regular LP Pisty shenanigans right here. Searching out some Thunder Dragons. Jonas probably pretty happy with the outcome of his danger stuff. This Bigfoot that actually saved his life, kind of.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why we have seen Joshua, I believe even Raphael, maybe cutting the Bigfoot from their deck. It is like too risky to actually discard it, and we saw Joshua replacing it with Chupacabra, which doesn't make a huge difference if it is the only danger in your hand, but at least it does if you draw multiple dangers. So.
Yeah, I like it a lot as an auto floodgates, because you can always, even if you're not allowed to summon anything, attempt to activate the dangers, and then you can hope for a quick Nessie into Bigfoot discard, not discarding your entire hand just to get rid of the summon limit.
It is true, that is true. And now we're gonna have to see Jonas, since he has access to the prize card, which is just getting summoned right here. He's gonna have to extend his combos. Hopefully he won't do the same mistake as Jake.
Will he?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he actually does it right.
Yeah, he does it, and since Pisty, Eclipse Wyvern and the prize card were all in the mix, he's able to actually get one more banish from Eclipse Wyvern, which is a huge deal. Do you think an Electric Virus is enough to come back against this?
Considering that he also has Lancea in hand, maybe not.
Yeah, the Lancea is gonna definitely hurt, especially coming out of nowhere, but...
Yeah, so he doesn't even need the draw for Saryuja, he just goes for a... Okay, so he actually wants the draw for Saryuja.
Okay, surprising, I'd say.
Let me be corrected.
Very surprising because you want to keep a level 8, but he doesn't have too much going on. Let's see what he picks up. I see a Batteryman, which is also something that I really don't like.
Really?
Yeah, I really dislike the card completely. I think it should be cutted. So I like what Joshua is doing in a way. Maybe like cutting every Thundered Dragon card is a little extreme, but I really don't like Batteryman. I think Crusaders are just by far so much better. I guess in a top 8 format is this different, but tomorrow Salamangreat is going to be the most played deck, and Crusaders are just so much better, both going first and second.
Well, going second, you have Crusaders and Solar, so you can actually, you don't need your normal summon if you're going second versus Salamangreat.
Yeah,
you can just always summon them.
I know, but
so
like,
this is actually crazy.
if you draw a Solar instead of a Crusader, that really sucks.
Yeah, I guess.
So you'd just rather have different Crusaders with different names, especially post-side deck, because Batteryman like loses a lot more to Lancia.
Yeah.
So
does a better job versus draw and lock though, I think.
That's true. That's true. Fair enough. It really depends mostly on how many strikers you expect, because it's also more Thunder cards in your deck, so more Colossus.
I think we can agree on Solar making the deck have a higher ceiling, kind of. Like it can make your plays go crazy. Like it makes Levianeer much better, the prize card much better.
Yeah, even.
But it can like cost you a game to play the card actually.
It does make the grind game better, but if you're playing a combo deck, usually there is no grind game, so it is quite a close decision. But you can see here it's working out for Jonas quite well. Time is also not as much as I thought, honestly. Like, it's very rare that we see a game 2 first turn with only 12 minutes left.
Yeah, that's true. Both of these players, like, they are going through quick motions, but at this point, like, I think Jonas is also a bit frightened that he might as well do like a mistake that big that Jake did. So you really don't want to do that. You don't want to mess up at this point.
But at the same time, I think if you're Jonas, you really, I mean, of course you're hoping to win, but like you really hope that Jake thinks he has a chance, because if they go into time, then game 3 they're actually gonna roll a dice. So maybe Jonas gets to go first again. Because right now Jonas knows that even if he wins this game, then game 3 Jake is gonna go first, which is not something you wanna see.
Yeah.
So maybe he's really hoping that Jake is like not picking up on this, but Jake is quite experienced, so it would be very surprising for me if that happened.
But he also summons Agar Pain in wrong zones, so it might actually be some mistakes. Like, also the side deck of Jonas, as we already said in the beginning, is much more going second in the mirror match. Like, if you have no material and Gamma, you can actually stop your opponent and then try to combo off with less. So if you have like Gamma and Gnome, you Gnome the Magius, then he goes for some plays, tries to shuffle it back with Unicorn, you Gamma that, and then you go Solar and Wyver Burster, and then you have the Exodia of Thunder Dragon going second in the mirror match.
Indeed.
So this is something that with Jake's board is probably, with Jake's build, is not really that possible. I guess you can Valor the Unicorn, but the chance is like lower. Jonas also has Lancea. He can go for my favorite Gamma Lancea play. It's also pretty hard for... you can't really, unless you use Levianeer, to not rip a card in the hand. To get rid of the 2 monsters that would stay on the field. And with those 2, you can actually play through the board, maybe. If there is a board that comes through Gamma and Lancea.
Absolutely, it can come up. It can also come up even better in Orcus, I feel like, because that means that it is the full combo already. So I think it's very good there. But yeah, this is a very impressive board by Jonas. Probably better enough to play around the Electric Virus. And there is also a chance it got shuffled back, so it didn't?
No.
Okay, so now we're gonna see if Jake actually can try to come back. Let's see.
Virus hits dragons and machines?
It's no, it's machine and dragon. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because I heard it was good against Striker as well.
Yeah, it is machine as well.
Really
odd combo. Plays back in the day.
I mean, Electric Virus for machines makes sense. Not so much for dragons, I think.
I guess. Maybe they're just afraid of lightning, you don't know. Possible. And here we see it coming down. So It is gonna steal the Abyss, and we're gonna see if Jonas wants to do anything about this.
So let's take a look at this Abyss. I think we can do it like this.
He's thinking about chaining it, and he does chain it. Okay, so he shuffle back his Abyss into the deck. He will be able to summon from either a Brotor or whatever he wants. It's usually Brotor, and we'll see if Jonas just chains the Lancia right away. I would think he does, just to play around Collapse Serpent being in the hand of Jake. And we know that there is actually a Collapse Serpent in Jake's hand, so...
He discards the...
He's thinking about discarding prize card. I mean, it's pretty close.
So he actually wants to keep his babies alive for the next turn, and I think there's, like... Hopefully for him, he's going to, immediate Lancea discard. That's like the cherry on top of his already amazing opening. But you can see that this combo matchup is actually not just decided by who wins the Dux roll, because without the Lancea, maybe
there was a chance,
there
actually.
Was a chance,
without maybe, probably. It's actually really good. It was, quite possibly a chance for Jake. Maybe not walking into the next turn, because
I mean,
Jonas still is holding a lot of cards, but
he can actually just go for Draco Special Summon at back Reclusia, then go
which is not bad.
The Jackalope, hope that Reclusia doesn't get discarded, but the Collapse Serpent will, that would be ideal.
Yeah, that would definitely be ideal. The danger gets sniped instead.
That's also okay, right?
It is. But it doesn't think that's enough, and I think here is where time really played a big deal.
Indeed.
Jake doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't really want to go into time while losing this game, because it would mean that they need to roll a dice, and then Jonas could go first and win just like that.
Also, with Lancea and Colossus, he has no chance of going for a Brotor or Levianeer or Eclipse Wyvern pace.
Yeah.
I think there might have been a chance where he goes into Unicorn and then...
I don't think the game was completely over, because like you can also, like if you went for Saruya, for example, then you can try and attack over the Colossus, because it can't protect itself under Lancia.
I also thought the first game wasn't over, because there was just a Colossus and a Defrag Dragon, and Jonas could have gone for a Unicorn, shuffled the Colossus back. Then Jake only had the Sacaslide, so I'm really unsure why he thought scooping this was the only choice he had.
I guess he probably didn't see Jake using the Brotor, so his read was that Jake either already had a Legionnaire or something like that. So I don't know. It was definitely not completely over, but now time is gonna be a huge issue, because I think it is actually possible to lose in time even if you open full combo. Like, it is possible that they can push even just a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, the Link monsters you summon, which are only... It's only seal if you play your combo right.
Yeah.
So, unless no material hits the field.
that could be really good.
Gnome could be insane.
I would like to see it, honestly, because we have not seen no material yet on stream, so... The card flew under the radar for a while, but now people are picking up on it. It's amazing against Orcust and really good against this new Crusadia Thunder version that is getting very popular.
Yes, indeed. No material, a card that is like barrier, yes. Agreed. Kind of like Lancea. All these lingering effects are pretty good against combo decks. Like, sometimes just Effect Veiler. Like, sometimes the deck even plays through like 3 hand traps, puts a board through it. But the lingering effects are much better, I'd say. I mean, that's why you're playing them. The deck is so good against control anyways, that you're actually using up 9 side deck slots for the Mirror or Orcust.
I think it really makes sense. I mean, it makes sense in a wide matchup, and it makes even more sense when you're playing against 7 of the best players in Europe. So let's see. I'm really excited to see what the end is look like. Oh, I think Jake picked second actually, because I see a no material and a Pancratops.
And
wow.
I see 3 Sushinokos on Jonas' hand.
Oh my god.
This reminds me of the final of the Italian Nationals.
Yeah.
Where Marco Perico sniped 3 danger jackalopes from its opponent.
Oh, yeah. I was there, and trust me, it was very exciting. So we're going to see a jackalope. Imagine if it gets knifed.
Yeah.
Then you're left with 3 Tsuchi. Oh, my God, he gets knifed.
This is not happening right now.
Wow.
Summon. You can't summon.
I called it. I jinxed it. I'm sorry, Jonas. I didn't mean to. But wow.
I'm gonna tell him afterwards that you did that. But maybe like every snake goes through now. That's still not good because you can't go into Saryuja then. But
yeah, it is gonna be tough. And Jake does have the no material, which is gonna be a huge deal.
Okay, so
yeah, let's see this first.
Okay.
25%. So
we're going for
Jonas
it.
gets back into it.
Let's say a draw. It's decent.
But now what do you do?
Yeah.
Another Tsuchinogo. Now it's 33%. It does it itself.
Okay, 50% now. Do you actually do it?
What do you do otherwise? You have to.
Yeah, kind of, right?
You have to do it. If it gets sniped, this game is looking very grim. Let's see. It does.
All the snakes,
so
I told you.
3 snakes, and now he gets the Reclusia.
He can actually go combo.
It is fine, but Jake has the no material.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Jake has full information as well now. And there are about 2 minutes and a half left in the round, which is a huge deal. Cause
he can just now go into beat. He didn't no material. Oh, he can no material targets, right?
Yeah, it does target.
Okay, so he activates Magius, and then he is going to. Actually, I would have.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking about, but yeah.
Like if he doesn't gnome this, then everything is going to be linked away for a Saryuja 100%. So this one actually hurts. And did not see that one coming, but actually it hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt still.
But he can go into a link 3. He can go to triple burst.
I guess he's playing around a few. Yeah, it still hurts. It's fair, but let's see. It's definitely not over, but time is gonna be a huge issue. I don't think either of them is playing timeout cards. Like the only one we see in the deck is really Scarlight.
Yeah, that's true.
No one.
Or you could go for this Agave Dragon, this Link monster.
True. So he got the Draco and he normal the Reclusia yet. So he does have a couple options, yeah, but
I think going for Unicorn, spinning the LAN does not really accomplish anything.
Because then you have no cards left even, so...
Good point. He can go for triple burst and then summon... if he played Spa, I thought this would be insane.
Yeah, it was very brave on Jake. Like if, as you said, especially because, I mean, you must know that Jonas and Joshua are very close, so...
Yeah.
It is quite possible that he was playing the same deck list and then Petra would have been there and this would have been full combo through that, so... I think they're stopping for a moment here, probably talking about just the speed of Jonas.
Chat says there's an illegal play on Magius, but I don't know what...
So he made the Magius. So they're checking the... Like he used the Reclusia to make the Magius, and then he used the what to make Lamforest?
He used Double Snake.
Maybe it says... Oh yeah, it says an effect monster. This is a huge deal.
No,
wow.
This is why you play
Beat. Oh my. Yeah, we also didn't pick up on it because we were so sure that and basically focused on the no material, but actually Magius says effect monster, and this is devastating now for Jonas. So since Lamforest is actually a non-effect monster, he can't search, and now he's forced to pass, and Jake is free to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and
yes, Sekka, Pancratops, wow.
There's not too much time on the clock left, and just an attack from Pancratops will be enough. Like, he can take away everything just by attacking over it. And this is really not looking good for Jonas. I cannot quite imagine a way in which he gets through this. also this is top cut timeout, so they won't draw if he plays through his main phase.
And right now they got some extra time because of the judge call, but it is about 2 minutes left.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, the Sekka is not good here.
Does Jake even have combo though? He has like double Levianeer.
He doesn't.
No, he just has Pancratops.
So he has Pancratops, does he have Thunder Dragon Dark? I think so, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he has that many plays.
He can actually go for Dark Effect, special Pancratops, and then tribute Pancratops for Dark.
Yeah, what's the rest of his hand? So he has 2 Levianeer, another Sekka Slide, and Collapse Serpent. With Pancratops, but his graveyard is not looking like... what is no material actually?
Earth.
Earth, yeah, I didn't think it was relevant. So it is gonna be quite tough here. They have to catch up on basically how much time is left. That's gonna be the crucial thing here, because Jake, unfortunately for him, doesn't have that many plays available.
No, I think the Sekka Slide is banished, even though it looks like it's still in the graveyard.
Yeah, it was banished and he drew into another Sekka with it, which is not what he wanted to see. Now, Pancratops is gonna actually destroy the Magius.
For 2,500 points of damage, which is more than Jonas can take.
I think he actually gets boosted by the Lamp Forest because he's pointing to it. So it's slightly less, but it's...
Or maybe he just gets boosted by effect monsters.
Maybe, you never know. So now he's gonna tribute summon for Dragon Dark. But
and he's gonna go full Colossus on it.
The problem is if he just goes Colossus past, then Jonas is playing Unicorn, and he could just win the game like this. Oh wow!
This
is far from over. They are asking the timeout so Jonas can actually win here. It's very surprisingly. Yes, he is playing Colossus. You can see Jake is actually surprised by it. Jonas cannot talk.
Oh, he discarded the Nessie? Oh, what? I can't see what he discarded, unfortunately.
I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's relevant. He attacked with both.
Oh, see how nervous Jake gets?
Yeah, is there any time at all?
It doesn't really help you to shuffle your cards in hand quicker, but next turn you can...
And time is called, wow! Jonas takes it!
Wow!
What a match, what a match!
What a blast, incredible!
Absolutely roller coaster of emotions. Let's go to the post-match discussion to analyze it. What just happened?
That was crazy, man.
Every match we're like, okay, this is enough, but more and more emotions, more action. This is unbelievable.
Like, and we didn't have the timer either. We were like completely pumped at this point.
We were actually walking kind of blind into this, and it was amazing. Like, still seeing how this is reminding me a lot of the World Championship. I'm very excited that we decided to have this kind of event on Friday. It's unbelievable.
Insane,
we are having these kind of matches back and forth. It all began with Joshua, which basically lost his match, but then his opponent made a big misplay.
Yeah, he decided not to win the game on the spot.
And then it was just back and forth again until we are at this match. Game 1 and Game 2 were pretty much straightforward. They both were having their combos, trying to fight back, but not really finding their way. Game 3, Jake decided to let Jonas goes first.
Yeah, and that actually worked out quite well for him because he could stop Jonas, and Jonas quite made the illegal play, which also held him back a bit. It didn't really help too much though, because the no material was stopping him so hard.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like he could do much, even though he could resolve the Magus.
Jake bricked even with Sekka Slide.
That's insane. Like, how do you even break with that? How do you? I think if you draw the hands with Sekka Slide.
That's 3 extra draws, man.
Yeah, you get to spin back one, and then it's quite unlikely. So you gotta feel bad for Jake if you're watching this, and he will still get, once more as a reminder, his VIP package. So it was a lot of action from us. Now let's remember, although the top 8 are done, we're gonna add to the top 4 very soon. Keep watching. We have 3 more rounds for today. We're gonna discover who is going to the World Championship in Berlin. See you soon.